Live here at Five Boroughs Park in one of the biggest games that SimWorld's TV has to offer. We've got Gotham 5 hosting tonight as they go up against Bay Area Lakers. Hello, everyone. I am LOB here on the mic for today, and for my co-host with me, we've got Siege here tonight, along with Rick Blaze. Siege,
Yes, sir.
Doing, man? How we doing?
Doing all right tonight. Excited for this massive matchup. We've got two stacked teams here. Should be a great contest we got tonight.
Definitely excited for this one. Now with tip-off underway, I do want to point out here the key for each team in order to get the win tonight. So, Siege, what is the key to success for Gotham 5?
Well, I think first thing that jumps out to me for Gotham 5, and I've been talking about him all year, he had a slow start, lost a lot of fans, lost a lot of believers, but Mackenzie Mbako recently has got it going a little bit more. I think if they can find a way to get him going early, he's going to be a big asset for him this game. My second key to the game for them is going to be Kian Anthony off the bench. He's a purebred scorer. It's in his blood. He knows how to put the ball in the bucket. If they can get him coming off the bench and scoring, that's going to be huge for them in this game.
Already starting off with a 3-2 lead for Bay Area. And for my man Rick, what does Bay Area have to do in order to get themselves the W tonight's matchup?
Well, I think Bay Area is going to have to get their pacing. They got to work with their tempo. Also matchups. You want to be able to match up. I think it's an interesting situation because you have Mbako, who, you know, like Siege was saying, hasn't quite lived up to the hype, but he's still a dangerous player anytime he's on the court. But Bay Area matches up well with him, especially they can throw out, you know, you can put a Trey Hyman who's quick to throw. It's going to be interesting to see the matchup. I think matchup's going to be the biggest thing. I do think Bay Area's a deeper team. So I think they can use their depth and their pacing to try to pull the victory out tonight.
And I feel like for both sides, I feel like the bench is going to be a huge factor in whether or not teams can go and get a huge lead in tonight's game here. So this should be exciting here. Bay Area now here, trying to get it on the inside, and what a beautiful finish there by number 24, Xavier Pope. Now, I had him on my scouting report as him having sort of a big night tonight, Siege. And this should be quite interesting to see what he does here.
Yeah, I'm big on Xavier Pope. He's got a beautiful mid-range game, kind of a lost art in the game of basketball today. I always love when I get to watch a player who's just got that smooth mid-range game, and Xavier Pope's one of those guys. Of course, he can shoot from all around the floor, but in general, he's a great scorer, and he's another guy that if he gets going, he can be a huge difference maker in this game, and there are a lot of those guys on both sides of the ball.
Nice use here of the pick and roll. Try to get inside, but it doesn't work. Three taken, and it is good. Another three-pointer here for Bay Area by Caden Ship. Now he's a knockdown shooter from three for sure. And then Mbako wide open for the three to tie this game back up. I mentioned earlier, Mbako's got to get hot early on, and that's exactly what it seems like the game plan is. Beautiful backdoor cut there by Bay Area to get a 2-point lead.
And Elo, if I may highlight one more thing, kind of backpacking off something that Rick said. He made a great point about the matchups. I think matchups are huge here, especially when you got so many talented players. I'm really looking forward to watching Aaron Lovejoy go up against Trey Hyman. Trey Hyman, as we all know, one of the more talked about players in this league, very dominant. But Aaron Lovejoy has shown time and time again that he can be a dominant big. So we'll see how that goes.
And we're going to take a quick short break here. We'll be back to you in just one moment. All right, if you're just tuning in, Bay Area with a 2-point lead here with about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this first quarter. Like you said, these matchups are going to be huge when it comes down the stretch here for both of these teams. I feel like matchup siege are very much key in what team's going to come out victorious in tonight's game. As Gotham 5 gets a steal inside and the finish by Aaron Lovejoy.
He ain't showing no love to that rim, I'll tell you that.
Definitely. Aaron Lovejoy, the 6'11", 197 pounder out of New York. No good there. The Bay Area, and it looks like Gotham 5 out here trying to push it on the break. Nothing there, so they'll reset it. And the hands of Mako. And they're going to feed it inside. A little bit of contact there, no foul call. And they'll reset it back at the top.
Yeah, I see that. I'm looking at Mbako and who's checking him right now. I think advantage Mbako. I think if Gotham can find a way to give him the ball more, they can force Bay Area to have to switch up defensively. We can get him. They can get Mbako going. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do so. Backdoor.
For the alley-oop layup, Trey Hyman with the alley-oop finish. That was a nice move. Siege, it's pretty interesting to see how this game matches up. We'll take a quick short break here and come back to you in just one moment. And we are back here in Five Boroughs Park here in New York. And speaking of New York, Siege, I was just told earlier that there's a lot of good food spots here in New York. So let me know what you think of some of the food spots here.
Oh, well, you brought that up at a perfect time. Actually, during that quick break, I took the train, the subway right behind us, and I headed to a nice little pizza stand I found down a couple blocks away. Got us all a couple slices, so we'll be nice and fueled up for the rest of this broadcast. Got off the plane late here for this one, so I didn't have time to hit any of the staple restaurants, but my guy Mario at the stand down there, a couple blocks down, he always takes care of us. So,
hey, see,
let me ask you.
Yeah, shout out to Mario, man. Let me ask you, Steve. I hear that in New York it's mostly just cheese pizza. Like it's just they don't really food much toppings. It's a cheese thing. But my biggest question is, I want to know because I'm a really big pizza guy. I want to know are any of you gentlemen the type that subscribes to pineapples on your pizza or not?
No,
pineapples go on the pizza or doesn't?
Rick, I want to go to heaven one day, so I don't do
that. No, so I can't. I can't. I've stayed clean for this long. I cannot put pineapple on my pizza. But
okay.
Not bashing the people that do, but me, I just could not. You know.
Rick, I had a buddy who went down that road one time, and he's doing 5 years now in state penitentiary. So
it's a dangerous game for sure.
I do not want to go down that road behind him. I'll tell you what.
I got you. Nobody want to go to San Quentin behind that. I understand.
No.
I'll leave you to that one if that's what you do, man. I'll leave you to that.
No, I'm just asking.
I'll leave that one to you guys if that's the case here. Bay Area hitting another 3 here. Notice that a lot of the subs have started to check into the game. Cayenne Anthony won, getting to the basket with the finish. Keon Anthony. Now, y'all said earlier that Keon coming off the bench was going to be a key for Gotham 5 here. How important is Keon to this game?
Keon's an absolute huge asset. I mean, he's so young, only 15 years old, but you know, like we said earlier, he's got it in his blood. He knows how to score with the basketball, and so not only is he big coming off the bench this year, adding that kind of scoring spark off the bench whenever they need it, or even if they don't need it, he's going to add that scoring spark. But it's really it's the idea of having this guy for a few years, being only 15 years old. The hope is that he's going to be with the program for the next couple of years, and so being able to develop him into a leader for the team, and one day potentially the star of the team from a 6th man is that's a really big thing for a team like this to have.
Yeah, and
oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to add a little piece.
Right.
It's kind of different. I'm looking at Trey Hyman. Is it me or does he have like jailhouse tattoo? I mean jailhouse muscles. Like I think he just does chin ups, dips, and lift pallets, buckets of water all day.
Rick,
oh my goodness! Speaking of Trey Hyman. Full palm grab block.
You gonna eat your cornbread? That's what that move was right there.
Oh my goodness.
Rick, it's so funny that you bring that up. I actually got the chance to speak to Trey about his workout regimen because we got a similar build, me and Trey. I don't know if you knew that, but he was telling me he doesn't go by any specific plan. He just goes to the gym and picks things up and puts them down until he's tired. So
he just looks at the most heaviest thing in there and says, "Hey, I'm going for that one today. That's my max."
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's what he looks like too. Perfect.
A flurry of plays just happened right before our eyes here while we was talking about Trey Hyman's weight regimen here. But Gotham fucking playing some
and one
amazing shot there for the and one by Bay Area. I am with the foul, and it's definitely not. That's just something I don't know about that one. Siege, what do you think with the call there?
I mean, that's a tough call. Sometimes you got to make that call, and we talked about both of these guys. Me and you did how big they were for their team. Keon Anthony coming off the bench, his scoring spark, and on the other side at the free throw line, we got Dime Hardaway, the 6th man for Bay Area. These are 2 guys who could start for a lot of teams in the league, and Dime Hardaway gets the best of Keon on that possession.
Yeah, it's definitely not safe to foul a shooter. Luckily, it was only for 2. It wasn't for 3. 10 seconds left here. Keon's got it.
Guarded by Dime. Love this matchup.
3 seconds. They need to put something up here. They take it for the 3. And it's going to be no good as we end the first quarter here in New York. And Bay Area coming out strong here so far. Huge block there by Trey Hyman to give the team the spark that they need, but we'll be back after these short messages. And we are back here with the start of the second quarter. Now, I do want to note that we do have a lot of talented players and coaches, and the next star player could be you here in SimWorld TV. So if you think you have a chance to be a coach or a player, we definitely want to invite you to join our Discord at discord.gg/SimWorldTV, where you will have the opportunity to have your own coach, have your own player, and see if you can rise to the top of the rankings. It'll be discord.gg/SimWorldTV. See the game, be the game. Back here with the start of the second quarter, Bay Area up 3. This game has definitely been living up to the hype so far, with a whole bunch of fast-paced games and high-scoring plays, definitely for Source Siege.
Absolutely. We saw last night a couple of teams who aren't necessarily those high-octane offenses with the North and the Originators going at it, and they had a very high-scoring game, and it looks like we're going to have another one on our hands here, but this one's a little bit more expected.
With two teams that are both 7-3 here, Hyman with another bucket on the inside. I gotta say, two teams that are both 7-3. It feels like a number 1 versus number 2 battle type of game here. This Bay Area gets the poke but doesn't get it. Cayenne off 1 foot, and that's gonna be no good here. Like I said, this feels like a number 1 versus number 2 team, like top teams in SimWorld. What do you think of that?
Absolutely, definitely two teams that are up there in the rankings. Definitely has a almost postseason feel to it. Just the intensity between these two teams, both wanting to prove that they're better than the others. I'm gonna go on my quick rant real quick about Keon Anthony. Never mind. I'm gonna leave on Keon Anthony. That's what I wanted him to do, is go to the basket on that last play. He faded away. I wanted him to go towards the basket, but he did it. So scratch that. I'll keep my mouth closed.
He was in your mind, and he did exactly what you wanted him to do on that one, at least.
Yeah, you did.
Rick, I thought you were going to say something earlier. What a finish by Trey Hyman. But, Rick, I thought you were going to say something earlier about these two teams and how it feels like a number 1 versus number 2 battle. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, the question I want you to answer first, if it's a number 1 versus number 2 battle, who's number 1, who's number 2?
See, that's the... Look, I'm just saying as it is. I don't even know where I could put these two. I feel like it's such a fast-paced game and such good quality basketball at that. So I don't even know who I would put 1 or 2. Do you have one?
Yeah, if I had to choose today, I would put Bay Breakers as 1 and Gotham 5 as 2. I think Gotham 5 is kind of hitting stride. Again, people don't know, I really vouch for Coach Bilardi. That's my guy. So every time I have to go against him, it hurts me. A piece of me dies every time I have to go against Coach Bilardi, but the honesty in me won't allow me to tell no lies. So that's just what it is. It's a conundrum, but I'm living it.
I don't know if can we get a fact check on that statement right there? I don't know if it's can we get a fact check or something?
Oh, it's true. But, it's true.
Rick, I think you made a real interesting point. They've been hitting their stride. They struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season, but when we talk about hitting our stride, one thing that happens a lot in basketball, we see it a lot in a bunch of different leagues, is a team maybe getting hot too early. Do you worry about that happening with Gotham 5 here? Do you worry that maybe they're hitting their stride a little early in the season? Do you think they can continue this into the postseason kind of run?
No, I don't. That's not the part that worries me. I worry about some of the players who maybe not be getting as many minutes as maybe they thought they was getting, becoming not ready to play or becoming a little bit disgruntled with the team. That's the part I worry. They have enough talent.
Yeah.
Well, 4 guys can call out sit tomorrow, and they still have a good start lineup coming off the bench that can start right now today. So the talent is not an issue. They have one of those teams where they don't have to go cold. As soon as somebody come cold, the other person can come in. The coach's hardest job will be determining the minutes and when to go with a hot hand and when to pull somebody out. That's not the issue. The issue is, can this team stay a team when individual players not get up down the lane, hanging out. We're just hanging out.
Beautiful finish. He said we just hanging out. That's Megan Williams hanging up on the rim right there. What a finish for Gotham 5.
And Rick, I think that's a great point, about, you said the players, does someone get disgruntled or something? That's something that we talk about, the Lone Star basketball, the Rocky Mountains, those kind of teams that don't seem to have that issue so much. They seem to have players who fit their role, they play their role, and can Gotham 5 or Bay Area Breakers even a little bit, but more Gotham 5, can they get to that point where everyone kind of accepts their role and plays it well? I know they've got Keon Anthony, who's done that, taking a back seat, be the sixth man, the young guy that he is, but can they get everyone to kind of buy into their role?
Well, I think Gotham issue is I don't know who's the leader of the team. I don't know. If you look on paper, you would think the default leader is Mbako, but he don't speak much, and his play hasn't been saying much. We have Major Williams, who does a lot of talking. He's the number one scorer right now, averaging 12 points a game. But is he a leader? Is it Kai Anthony? He's only 15. Is Lovejoy? I don't know. Then they got Williams, they got Matthews, they got some guys who no one's came to the forefront and said, ooh,
what a finish there.
Hey, doggy. No one has came to the forefront and claimed to be the leader. So I think once Bilardi figures out who the alpha is and who's actually showing it, then they can start hitting a different level, in my opinion.
They've got a lot of Kyries and a lot of Anthony Davises, but do they have who's their LeBron? Who's going to be that alpha, like you said?
Definitely.
Right. And yeah, so for sure. That was nasty that previous play.
That last bucket there was taken by number 20, Sean Hyman. And now a lot of people have said that Sean Hyman and Trey Hyman, whenever they're both on the floor, it's that 1-2 punch. One makes the other one better. And Siege, I know you pointed that out to me earlier. So what's your thoughts on the Hyman brothers being out there on the court at the same time?
Yeah, look, here's the thing for me is that I think chemistry in basketball is bigger than it is in any other sport. The way players fit together, the way a team fits together is so important. So when you got two brothers who get along and have been playing together all their life, it just elevates both of their game. And we've seen it. Trey Hyman's been playing, didn't think it was possible, but even better basketball than he was before since his brother joined the team. And so, and Sean has also been good.
And I definitely agree. As on the other end, Gotham 5 with the slam after the block by Kyan Anthony. Now, you did make a good point. Chemistry is very important. And how close can you be on the basketball court than literally having the same blood running through your veins? So I feel like that's key for both of them. As Sean Hyman, with a fading shot away, knocks it down to give the Bear a 7-point lead.
Yo, when those two guys are on the court together, I call it the Hyman maneuver.
The Hyman maneuver. Excuse me, the Hyman maneuver.
There you go.
Twister. Beautiful.
Y'all can have it, by the way, fellas.
5 by Cayenne. We might have to trademark that one. That's a good one. The Hyman maneuver. I like that one. Cayenne Anthony here now to the line, the son of Carmelo Anthony. He averages about 12.4 points a game. Huge off the bench here for Gotham 5, and he's got 10 already tonight. How do you stop someone like Cayenne?
Well, he's young, so he's gonna have moments where he's gonna look like the best player on the court. And he's gonna have moments when he's just gonna look like another guy. But that's what happens when you're young like that. But don't get it twisted. He can drop a 30-piece on your head, no fries, all flats, and you're in trouble. So you gotta be real careful when he's on the court.
30-piece, all fries, no flats.
Yeah,
that's an interesting one. I feel like we definitely need to have somebody trademarking these quotes here because they're just coming at coming quick. Definitely. Gotham 5 here only down by 6 points. Stretch it to 8 as another tough bucket is made by Bay Area. Bay Area's been definitely doing the dirty work in this one, getting to the basket and finishing strong through contact, driving this lead for sure.
Yeah, and I would say this: both teams have made a bunch of tough buckets. We've seen some buckets like this too. Don't get me wrong, but Bay Area has been making shots, but not because Gotham hasn't been defending. So let me give Gotham some credit right now. You got to kind of just weather the storm because this team can get hot at any point in time, and if you just keep it close, then you got like your chances coming in the fourth.
I feel like it's just a great defense, but a better offense type shots here. Bay Area has the lead here due to shots like those, tough shots that they've been making throughout this entire game. At the line here, we have number 24, Xavier Pope. Now, Pope, we mentioned earlier, one of the keys for Bay Area. And how vital and how important is a guy like Xavier Pope on your team?
I mean, he's a bucket getter. He's a guy who can score. He plays good defense. He's big for a wing. He's 6'6", 213, which, maybe in the pros isn't huge for a wing, but we're talking about high school basketball here. We're talking about high school level kids. I mean, and you can see his build. He's probably on the similar regimen to Trey Hyman is. He's got those broad shoulders. I mean, So not only can he shoot, not only can he score, but he can impose himself physically on a defender. And so when you got a guy like that, he's just another one of their guys who can go get a bucket on his own whenever he wants. And having guys like that is always vital.
Another top floor type of dunk here from J.R. Williams out of New Jersey. Amazing slam there for Gotham 5.
Yeah, them boys in Bay Area must be on that Barry Bonds muscle build program.
They all have to be working out at the same gym or with the same trainers or something, because there's a lot of big guys out there. I'm going to be honest. A lot of big guys out there.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you know this, but Bay Area's strength and conditioning coach asked me for my regimen, so that's why they're all so huge.
Understand.
Interesting.
That makes sense. That makes 100% sense.
A lot of cornbread.
I wonder what Maury would say about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Foul call here, and that's gonna send Pope to the line.
I think Bay Area brought their own refs too. Because I don't know if I saw a foul on that, and Ballard seems to agree with me. He's ticked.
He is frustrated. You could just see it on his face. He is livid about that call.
And that was behind the line. Is that for 3?
Might have been for 3. I believe it was for 3, but that will send Pope to the line.
And what you can't do is get this Bay Area team free points. This is what I call free points. You can't get them free points because they can go 10 deep and they can run the score up on you in a minute. And then once they run the score up, it's going to be hard, almost impossible to come back from.
Well, with only a couple of seconds left here in this game, they can stretch this out to a 7-8 point lead going into the halftime. How big would that be for Bay Area?
Well, I think especially when you talk about a game like this, both teams are so stacked, so loaded with scorers, so loaded with just really great basketball players. I mean, anytime you can get out to a lead going into the half or at any point, I mean, that's a huge advantage, especially going into the half, because you can talk with your team, say this is what we're doing well, this is what we're going to keep doing. So it's huge in this game specifically.
Most definitely. I feel like it's big to just have that sort of lead and have that sort of confidence going into the half. As a shot is taken there and knocked down by huge for Gotham 5 to cut it down to 5 points here. Only 20 seconds left here in this second quarter of action.
That's a big shot, too, because they kept the lead from ballooning on them going into the halftime. Big shot by Gotham.
In the hands of Dime Hardaway with only 7 seconds. Let's see what he does here. He's driving, looking for something, and they force up a shot. Down with 0.9 seconds left on the clock. Jimmy King will take us into halftime with that unorthodox shot there for Bay Area. Will that just take us into halftime here? Bay Area only up 7 points here. I know this game has definitely lived up to the hype, but Siege, what has gotten Bay Area this big of an advantage so far in this game?
I think we talked about how big some of these players are. They're imposing their size. We talked about Gotham playing great defense, but they're hitting their shots. They're making it happen. On the other end, they're playing good enough defense that they're not letting Gotham score as much as they are. It's hard to say it's great defense. I mean, it is great defense, but Gotham also can score the ball. I think big for them going into the second half is going to be not getting complacent. They got to keep their foot on the gas if they want to keep this lead, because Gotham can come back like that.
I feel like they've definitely been hitting a lot of tough shots. And as far as Gotham 5 here, what do they need to get back into? Well, excuse me 1 second. We're going to take a short break here. I'll be back with you in just 1 moment. And we are back here with third quarter action in this not so tightly contested game, but it's pretty close. It's only a 7-point game here. Bay Area Breakers versus Gotham 5 here. And it's interesting to see that Gotham 5, only down 7. Rick, what do you think that they need to do to get back into a game like this?
I think they need to run the play at their tempo, and I think they need to get Mbako involved heavily this half. I love his matchup tonight. I think he can really make things uncomfortable for Bay Area and make them change to a different strategy if he can start to take advantage of his matchup. I think that's the key for Gotham.
Got fouled there by Mbako will send Xavier Pope to the line once again. Now, some of these calls here, especially in this first half so far, have been questionable, to say the least here. I definitely think these calls have been questionable. Coaches have been.
And we're in New York.
Seats. We are in New York. Coaches have been out of their seats. Players have been flustered. Coaches have been all over the place. Can we make some sense of this? What's going on?
Well, I'll say this, man. Ever since New Yorkers put down their Timberland boots and start picking up Air Force Ones, New York hasn't been the same with solidarity. They've been all over the place ever since then. Once they put them Timbs down, and then they said put up your Air Force One, New York was done after that. They've been fighting ever since. That's just what I'm saying.
So it's the shoes that have completely just changed this.
The whole dynamic. Yeah, the whole kids. I mean, yeah, I remember seeing New Yorkers hooping in Timbs. Now they actually got on basketball sneakers. That's crazy.
That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point to make there. That the shoes have changed the entire culture of basketball in the state. What a finish! Gotham 5 not backing down.
That's the top 10 nominee.
Has to be top 10 for sure. What a finish by Aaron Lovejoy. Gotham 5 here.
Mama, who band is that?
Oh my goodness, Gotham 5 here looking to get on a little bit of a roll here. That's twice that Sire Matthews has made a beautiful dime or dish to get another assist for his team. Sire Matthews is, someone who leads the league in steals with at 8, but it looks like he's showing off his passing ability right now.
Yeah, Matthews got some skills. He got a little handle on him, and he definitely can pass the rock. That's a good shot by Pope. This Bay Area team, man, they just loaded, bro. They're like an AK. They just don't run out.
Don't run out of steam, don't run out of gas, and it seems like Gotham 5 here is running out of people to pass the ball to as the ball goes straight out of bounds here. Last touch by Mbako, but this Bay Area team seems like they really have got it put together here in this first half, and they're continuing that front in the second half here.
Did that boy do the Allen Iverson right just then? From the Reebok commercial?
He tried to
move. Chill out, man. He doing too much, man. Chill out, player.
Bay Area trying to get it inside here. No good. No good. A tough bucket, but it does not fall. Gotham 5. What a pass there.
Big man, the big man.
Xavier Pope. Excuse me. Aaron Lovejoy with the finish. Excuse me. I'm looking at two different numbers here. So much exciting basketball going on so far. Another finish here on the inside for Bay Area.
This is new at the spring. I see it. I
Caden
got my scouting team up. A little pressure by Bay Area now. Trying to make things uncomfortable for Gotham 5.
And I feel like that's definitely big, trying to get them to run at their pace here to try to finish this game off. Gotham 5 looking for tipped and intercepted.
Late pass. It was a late pass.
Mbako was wide in the corner. Bay Area now trying to get it inside here. Back out to Hyman. Looks like they'll get a reset here. Let's see what they got planned on this possession. Hyman with it, dribbling. And finally kicks it over. 1 second for the shot. And he knocks it down. Wow. It has been that type of game here for Bay Area.
That's the kind of shot that just hurts your little heart right there.
It's been that type of game.
Mama, come give me a hug.
Mom, come
got to hurt Gotham 5. And they try to respond with the 3 of their own, but it's going to be no good here.
They need a hug. They need a timeout. They need a timeout and a hug right now.
Siege, what do you think of these? What do you think of these shots that Bay Area has been taking and making this entire game?
I mean, these are the kind of shots. If you've got a team that's already this talented and does so many things well, if they're hitting these shots, I mean, you might as well go ahead, start the bus, go ahead, and load up. Because I mean, Xavier Pope's hitting from 4 or 5 feet behind the line with a hand in his face. I don't know. I don't know. You can't do anything about that. You can't do anything about that.
There's some contact on that layup here, but it's not going to be any call. No good. And Gotham 5 here on the break. In the hands of Mbako. He shoots it, and he gets it to go. Mbako having a solid night, but it's been kind of quiet. Not much going on here from Mbako. I wonder if he turns it around here in the second half.
That's been this season so far.
He started off real hot. He hit a few shots to start the game, and then kind of took a lull a little bit. While
speaking of hot,
but Xavier Pope is just having a day. I don't know. What are you gonna do about that? Who do you put on him? I mean, who do you put on him right now? You got to do something. You got to switch up the defense. You got to put somebody on him who's gonna take pride in it. I don't know. You got to do something.
I mean, you gotta get a couple of priests on them or something.
Timeout called here by Gotham 5 here. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. And we are back here with a 61-48 score here. Just want to let you guys know that immediately following this game, we will have the post up hosted by Maestro and our very own Rick Blaze here in New York, followed by Bad Boys Basketball at Lakeshore Drive for our later game tonight. But right now, let's talk about G5. They're down. It's a little bit of time left here in the third. What do you do? What do you do to get back in this one, Siege?
You find a way to stop Xavier Pope, and if you're not going to stop him, you find a way to duel with him. You got to get somebody going. I still think they gotta find Mbako a little bit more. I mean, he hasn't missed a shot yet, but he's only got 3 of them. He's 2 for 2 from the threes, 3 for 3 from the field overall, and I mean, he can be that guy on offense. We talked about they don't have a alpha, they don't have a guy on offense, they don't have that leader. He can be that guy. They just got to get him more shots.
That last shot was good there by number 5, Siate Dior. I believe I'm saying his name right. I don't want to butcher his name, but nice shot there. But Bay Area just seems to have a response for every single question that Gotham 5 is throwing at them in this game. There's always been a response there by Bay Area, and I feel like that's one of the key reasons why they've gotten this lead so far.
Yeah, and if you got them five, listen, got them five. Listen to me. Listen to me closely. We ain't got time for you to go shop for shop with these guys. God damn it, you gotta make a stop. You gotta put some stops together. You gotta stop them from scoring, and you keep scoring. That's the only way this gonna go. Y'all keep up and try to get y'all win. You gotta make a stop.
If there's ever a time, if there's ever a time,
that's a start. That's the start. We get a stop.
And the crowd here is quite confused about that call right there. I feel like there's been quite some, as I said earlier, questionable calls this entire game.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem like they've gotten any better up until this point of the game here.
I mean, this is a tough game to call. The refs were trying to kind of establish a precedent early, I think, but it's been a tough game to call just because everyone's so talented. They're trying to play defense best they can, but I mean they're using their physicality, getting into guys, and they're drawing fouls. And I mean the refs, like I just said, set a precedent early. They were going to call these fouls, and at the very least they're keeping up with it. You know what I mean? They're not getting inconsistent on us. So this is the part where you adjust your game. You notice we're deep into the third quarter. You have to have noticed how the refs are calling this game. You got to adjust the way you're playing to it.
Well, those last two free throws were just knocked down there. A number 10 dime hard away as a three is taken in the corner for Gotham 5 to cut this lead down to 9 points.
You gotta get a stop, baby. You got to get a stop right here.
Defensively, it just seems like it's not that Gotham 5 is struggling defensively. It's just that it's hard to play defense whenever they're hitting these shots. It's just hard for Gotham 5 to get stopped when they're hitting shots like they have this entire night.
This is a big possession for them, right? Oh, it's a good. Oh, he missed the
basket, and he doesn't get the finish. Great move, but doesn't get the finish. And Trey Hyman on the other end with the slam.
Love to see your big man run the floor like that. That's beautiful.
That's a 4-point swing. My man missed the lay. That's tough.
Full court pass up the court. Gotham 5 getting to the basket. A lot of contact on that drive, but no call. Gotham 5 gets the rebound back and resets with 42 seconds left.
You know, I think the biggest thing about these two teams, I think I figured it out now. Gotham doesn't, Bay Area has more natural scores on their team than Gotham does. As we're coming down to almost 25 seconds left in this third. And I think it's showing this game. Bay Area can score whenever they need to. They shoot this game. Gotham don't have as many natural scorers. So every time, besides Key and Anthony, no one else on the team is a natural scorer.
That's a perfect take there, honestly. They got a lot of really good pieces, and I think it all comes down to that. That's a great narrative to run with when we talked about who's their alpha, who's their leader. They don't have that natural scorer. They don't have that guy who's going to be the focus and let the other guys kind of be those great players around him, because the rest of the guys are super talented. They're just not. They're not a Caden Shipp, a Xavier Pope, a Trey Hyman, a Royce Anderson, guys who can literally just score at will.
Well, with a 13-point game, we'll be taking it to break here as the third quarter just ends. 13 points is what separates these two teams as we get into the fourth quarter of action here. In a 69-56 game here that sees Bay Area has been absolutely dominating this game. And if you had to put a oh my goodness, I couldn't even get my statement out. What a block. But if you had to put a thumbprint on a game like this, it definitely would have to be Xavier Pope, because he has been absolutely dominating this game as Gotham 5 hits another three-pointer to bring it to 11. Xavier Pope has been going on this entire game. Bay Area with another finish on the inside here by Sean Hardy.
Yeah. And I see Bay Area switched up a few things. His press, they got really good press. All the press works perfectly. You were saying, Siege?
I was saying you can't on that play. I mean, Sean Hyman got an open run to the basket. How are you gonna let the bigs get that great of positioning on a made basket? You got to get back on defense. That's you're not gonna win the game playing like that. You're definitely not gonna come back from a deficit playing like that. That's got to be fixed immediately.
Yeah, and I think we started to. You go ahead.
No, I'm saying forget all that. You see Trey Hyman, what position he's playing right now?
That's exactly what I thought I had.
He's coming off screens and stuff. Wait a minute, they didn't put the big man, 6'10" man at small forward or something at the wing. He's coming out screens for the kid. I want to see the offensive possession play out. That's interesting to me. We'll see how that works out in this fourth quarter.
And I was just about to say the same thing. It seems like Trey Hyman has played out of position as Gotham 5 with the slam to cut it to 11.
And I'm assuming Coach Pope is doing that for both offensive and defensive purposes. See, he got a little advantage right here. Major can stay with him. That's easy. Very smart move. Now, Bilardi, your answer. Bilardi, answer. So now Bilardi has to get a timeout soon so he can answer it. And it's a matchup game now. Now it's a game within the game.
Huge finish there by Trey Hyman on the inside, who's been doing pretty much the dirty work as Bay Area gets another steal out here on the break. Oh, that one was almost swatted away, but what a finish there by Bay Area. And Caden Ship with another finish. Inside, and Gotham 5 with another slam.
Gotham got to get some stops here, though. That man now need to call somebody. Need to call somebody for him. He's too much right now. He is too much right now.
We're going to take a short break here, and we'll be back with you in just 1 moment. Bay Area in full control of this game with about a little bit under 6 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. Xavier Pope being sent to the line. And it looks like the power has gone out here in New York City. The lights have been shut off here. So,
I mean, Xavier Pope's been lights out shooting all night. So it's just, finally caught it. They finally caught it.
He sucked the power out of the building, ladies and gentlemen, as he's at the line to take his second free throw.
Well, everybody hold on to your wallets and check your pockets now. You know, it is New York.
Pull out your flashlights. Make sure you keep all things that are yours on your purses at all times, because we don't want any reports of anything happening. I'm surprised they can still see out there. We do have reports that the NY Power Authority will be trying to do their best to get the lights back on, but we will continue this game for you guys live here. This only can happen in New York, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is some New York type stuff, man. This is some New York type stuff. It's definitely
Bay Area with the miss here.
The team start losing, they try to kill the lights. You know what I'm saying? Your team down and you want to kill the light.
That's what I'm saying.
The game ain't no lights in the game.
Pope knocks it down.
Don't need no lights. He is the light. He's the truth and the light. No man coming but through him first. Oh, hell the Pope. Hell the Pope.
Gotham 5 with another finish on the other end here. I'm surprised these players can still see with these lights being out here, let alone play.
No. D5 trying to get a continuance. Your Honor, can I get a continuance of the game? We'll finish it tomorrow.
Well, it seemed like they were hoping for some sort of delay game, but it looks like we're still playing, so
yeah,
maybe some sort of regroup or something, but it looks like we're still playing here. Gotham 5 off the pick and roll, 1 second left, and the shot's going to be no good.
Ooh.
What a finish through the contact there for Gotham 5. Aaron Lovejoy with another bucket.
Gotham 5 had to put a couple of stops in a row. They won't have a chance. Now is the time, G5. Now is the time to take a stand.
Bay Area pulling up for another three, no good. In the hands of Mbonko, and he's running it.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to think that maybe Gotham 5 practiced with the lights off these past couple of days, and this was a fail-safe plan for them. Because
they knew something was going to happen.
It seems like they're ready to make a run here now.
They're ready. Hey, you know what that means? Sound like the Tims are back. That's some boy up the Tims doing them kind of stuff.
Well, it just seemed like it was a backup
Timberland moves right there.
It just seemed like it was a backup place in case they were down, but they've been, you know.
Woo!
Yeah. They're the only ones that can shoot right now. They're the only ones that can shoot right now. They know their own court.
And just like that, off the three from Mbonko, we've got ourselves an 8-point game.
Let me go to the Pope. Let me give it to the Pope.
The Channing defense in the hands of Hyman at the 3-point line.
That's the Pope.
In the hands of Pope. Another shot for Xavier Pope. He's been lighting it up in a sense.
Oh.
Another finish on the inside by Aaron Lovejoy for Gotham 5 here, but now they're in a 4-on-5 situation as Bay Area calls a timeout. We're going to go into a quick short break here, but we'll be back with you in just a moment on SimWorld TV. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after a quick timeout and some technical difficulties, we are finally able to get the power back on here in New York City, and we can finally see what's going on clearly here. Thank you for the New York electrocution team, all of that to make sure that the lights are working so that we can finish out this game with some light for you guys. Now, Pope tonight has been on fire with 26-point siege. What has he been able to do this entire game to just absolutely dominate the way that he's been?
I mean, what has he not been able to do? He's been able to get to the line, draw the foul. He's shooting efficiently. You know, like you said, he's at 26 points, and a lot of those points have come just over the outstretched hand of Mbako or any defender who dares step up to him. I mean, he's and right on time. I want to talk about. I mean, he's obviously the player of the game. I think you gotta take him. If Gotham 5 can make a run and come back, maybe we'll have a different guy to talk about. But right now, the way it's looking, he's my player of the game.
Xavier Pope, ladies and gentlemen, has been the key to Bay Area Breaker success in this one. As a foul is called here, which is going to send Sean Hyman, Trey Hyman's brother, to the line here.
And Sean Hyman's been honestly a surprise. We talk about the way he elevated Trey's game, but just on his own, I mean, he's been a really tough player for them since he's joined the team. I mean, he's able to be strong inside. He gets the good buckets. I mean, he rebounds. He does a lot of things for this team, and he is one of those guys that, you know, this team has a lot of stars, a lot of guys who are star-level players, and, you know, Sean Hyman maybe isn't one of those lead guys, but he's one of those get down, do the dirty work guys, and every team needs those guys to complement the stars.
And it's interesting because I'm looking at him, and I think you're about to give him his stats, his stature right now, LO. But as big as he is, he still looks so small compared to Trey Hyman. It's just so weird. It's so weird.
That's right. He's only 6'7", 202 pounds, but he's averaging 9.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, which is 6 in Sim World, but also 2 assists. So he's able to dish it out here as Gotham 5 gets another bucket to cut the lead.
Hey, good move by Gotham 5. Hey, my defensive players couldn't stop me. I got to call on my people that run electricity at the building to stop them. So they showed them that they shut them down. Gotham went on an 8-0 run during the time with a quote-unquote power outage happened. And now Gotham trying to sneak in this victory, man. I love it. My coach used to say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
And with that stop right there, you can start to hear the crowd get into it a little bit. Gotham has a chance here to get some points and cut this lead down, but the three-pointer is no good. And Bay Area out on the break again in the hands of Sean Hyman. Bay Area looking to slow it down here. Waste some time off that clock, definitely. Inside to Trey Hyman with the finish.
He punched his ticket.
Timeout Gotham 5.
Now, hey, if I'm G5, you know what I'm doing now. You know what defense I'm getting into. Cut the lights back out, defense. Cut the lights back out. Let them miss another 4 shots in a row. Let's make another 6 in a row. Let's get back in this thing, man. Cut the lights off, defense, baby. We're gonna call it the CTO defense.
That's the cut the lights off has been quite interesting in tonight's matchup. Now, we did talk about earlier Xavier Pope being our player of the game, but one player that we may have not, highlighted, and all of his stats may not have shown up on the stat sheet, but Trey Hyman in tonight's game doing the absolute dirty work has been big for this Bay Area team. It's been huge, Siege. It's been huge.
Absolutely. I mean, Trey Hyman every night is doing the dirty work. I mean, he's dirty work and he's the star. I mean, he can do it all. He's one of those guys that you can't wait to see him progress, move on to the next level. You can't wait to see what he can do in that level. I mean, he's really good at getting in position on offense, defense, both sides. He knows how to use his footwork. He knows how to seal a defender, get those easy dunks. We've seen him get a few times, but even if he doesn't get that position, he can dunk right over just about anybody. I mean, he is physically important.
Mbako for 3 here, and it looks like Gotham 5 is starting to cut this lead with 1:25 left on the clock here.
I'm telling you, they got to get the ball to Mbako more. I'm telling you, this
They cut
guy,
the lights. They didn't cut the lights back off. They didn't cut the lights back off.
You can hear the crowd start to get into it. Trey Hyman, nice footwork, great move, but can't finish. Gotham 5 here on the other end. They desperately need a bucket to give themselves an opportunity to get back into this game here.
Who they go to?
Inside to the post.
Ooh.
And he hits it. cuts it to a 4-point game with under a minute left.
Talk about some great post footwork from a guy you wouldn't necessarily expect it from there in Jerry Williams. I mean, that was a nice little spin move there. Drop step into the pump fake layup. I mean, that's beautiful.
You got to get a stop right here. 42 seconds on the shot clock. This is good D. You got to finish it strong.
Great defense.
Oh, they got a shot.
5 now here on the break. In the hands of him. He fires. Good rebounded by Hyman, and they're going to foul.
Man.
Joy's going to foul. And Bay Area calls a timeout here.
Guys, Mbako was almost back. He was almost back, baby. I was almost ready to put him back in the top 10. Ooh, but he didn't make that shot, though, so he got to choose.
They definitely needed that one to fall, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to come back in this game now with that shot not falling for them.
It's over now. I'm sorry, I'm that guy. It's over.
Well, we do like to let you guys know that after this, be having the post-up hosted by none other than Maestro, and our own Rick will be on the show. The post-up following this game, and immediately after that, we will have Bad Boys Basketball at Lakeshore Drive for our second matchup tonight here on SimWorld TV. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Don't go anywhere after this game. What do you guys think that coach is telling his team for Gotham 5 right now, Coach Ballard?
I think it's right here. It's a simple situation. We see it a lot when this happens. I mean, what you got to tell your team is you're going to play tight defense. You're going to go for the quick steal. I mean, that's best case scenario. You somehow poke the ball, get a quick steal, quick turnover, get to the rim, get a bucket. If not, you're gonna try to get a quick foul. I think they're in the fouls here. I mean, you hope that they don't knock it down. You keep the ball out of the hands of Xavier Pope, and you try to foul somebody else.
And I think
that's it.
You need to go to the CTO defense.
CTO defense has been useful and successful so far, so
yes,
they might go back to it.
It's the only time they made it. It's the only time they got 3, 4, 5 stops in a row. That's all I'm saying.
Bay Area now out of timeouts here. That is important. Gotham 5 only has one with 29.6 left on the clock. And they're immediately going to the foul here to try to stop this clock here.
And they didn't have that. They didn't have to do that. It was 4 seconds left. It was 4 seconds difference. I don't know. I might try to play some defense now. I don't know if I want to foul immediately, but you found a good guy. Hyman does have a chance to miss one, maybe even 2 of these.
I think that's the best person that you could foul in this situation on the court, in the hands of Sean Hyman at the line. He's got one to go here, and he knocks it down to make it a 5-point lead. Now trying to focus on the second. It's up, and he knocks down both to make it a 6-point lead with 27 seconds on the clock. We're going to go to a quick commercial break here, but we'll be back with you in just a second.
That was clutch, Sean.
Play jazz.
Playing jazz.
Smoothie.
Making smoothie.
Calendar.
No meetings today. Remember, tandläkare at 9:30.
Fire off.
Fire off.
Open door.
Door open.
Sånn, så skal vi sette en til.
Ja. Open door.
Run voice command.
Open door.
Run voice command.
Open door.
Repeat that.
Open door.
I didn't understand that.
Hey, open door.
Play on the floor.
Get over the floor. Open the door.
Wrong voice command. Error.
Hey there, with a rock. Open door. Open door.
Higher volume. Higher.
When you talk about the teams that have been players have been contributing for this Bay Area team, Xavier Pope alone with 26, but Trey Hyman with 15 and 6 rebounds, Sean Hyman with 14 and 6 rebounds. Those two alone have been carrying this team in the rebounding category, and that's been huge, as Mbako does not get the shot to foul, and they foul Trey Hyman and send him to the line.
And Trey, speaking of Trey Hyman, he's been doing a little bit of everything: rebounds, blocking shots, steals. He's top 5 in rebounds and top 5 in steals as well. I think he's top 10 in rebounds. I mean, number 1 in steals, top 5 in rebounds. So my man can score, but he also does a little bit of everything. Like my man Maestro say, the dirty, dirty. Trey might as well build him a dirty, dirty house and get a dirty, dirty dog and live a dirty, dirty life.
Not only that, Sean Hyman is the number 6 rebounder on in SimWorld, and they're both on the same team, which is amazing to see both of them go to work here. And with 16 seconds left, another steal by Bay Area, and in all likelihood, ladies and gentlemen, that looks like it's
ain't no all likelihood, LO. It's over. Ain't no all likelihood. Katie, come lock this door. This game over.
You start to see the New York natives here head for the subways, but that should do it in this matchup. Bay Area Breakers coming out with the victory in an 88-81 game over Gotham 5. This has been such an exciting game up until the end, with Bay Area doing exactly what they needed to do and come out and get this victory. Stay tuned for the post-up coming out right up after this. It's been your boy LOB here with Siege and Rick Blaze here on the call for tonight's matchup. We'll see you guys in just one moment.
They're eating all these sandwiches. They're just like talking, oh, this is so good. They're going on. My aunt walks in and she goes, what are you guys doing? This is, oh, baby, this is really good. This was going on. And my auntie said, y'all know that ain't jelly, right? Right? Oh, we're on. I'm sorry, my bad. Okay, hey, welcome to the post-up.
Wow.
I am Maestro, joined by the man you just heard calling the game.
Wow.
Rick Blaze, happy 420 day. How you doing? I'm gonna say, boy, close enough for you anyway. How you doing, fam?
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good, Maestro. Good to see you again, brother. Good to be here.
I was blessed to see you, man. I love hearing you on the call of a great game, 1 versus 2. We saw what just went down. You know, hearing you on the call with Siege and LO Gasman B. I'll tell you something, man. It was pretty awesome. Tell us what you saw now that you had a chance to kind of let it marinate for 3 or 4 seconds, because I know what I got for you. Tell us what you saw going down tonight.
Yeah, I saw 2 teams who came in prepared and ready to play. I just saw that. I think the biggest difference this game was Xavier Pope. I think Xavier Pope played out of his mind. He was literally 7 for 8 on this game, 26 points. I mean, I think he only missed 1 shot the entire game, 5 from 6 from 3-point. The man was unconscious, and when a player gets hot like that, and Bay Area has several players who can get hot like that, it's tough to beat them on any given night. G5 did not play bad. They just didn't play as well as Bay Area. I think Bay Area will beat most teams the way that they played tonight.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you from my view, Bay Area seemed more prepared. It just seemed like they okay, well, let me say it this way. Not just only were they more prepared from my view, they seemed to be more committed to their scheme, and that held true
Mm.
throughout the night. Um, and I gotta say something, man, the fundamentals, something about seeing brothers on the team, and I'm gonna give my man Trey a shot. I gotta give him a shot. He is okay, as I said in my Tuesday talk, he is not only like the COO of the Dirty Dirty Club, the Maestro Dirty Dirty Club. He's got his own parking spot, his own elevator, gonna have his
Yeah.
own private bathroom at this particular point. But it's something about having brothers on the team. I was really lucky enough to have that in about 4 phases of my basketball, football, and baseball life. And man, when you get brothers that connect and do their thing, it is some magic that happens. Seeing the Hyman brothers do what they do, I love what you called it. Man, it is really awesome to see. And oh, by the way, it looks like Bay Area's game is elevating just a little bit each
Yeah.
week. When
Yeah.
we get to that race to one, right? When we get to that race
Yeah.
to one, it's gonna be,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
I agree
surprised if
with
they're
you.
not there.
I agree with you 100%. I think that I have to give a lot of credit to Coach Pope, who's working out this lineup. And he knows who to go with and when to get off the gas and when to get somebody else in. And the players have bought. Looks like they bought into it. And yeah, I mean, they just have one of those teams where any given night, any one of their players from 1 to 10 can give you a bucket and can make your life miserable for you. So shout out to Coach Pope. That's not an easy task, an easy job, but he's looking good doing it so far.
Absolutely right. And I got a chance to do a quick interview with him, earlier on in the week, just to kind of get a feel of what was going on this weekend. And he stayed totally true to what he talked about in the interview. I'm just going to give you like a little future taste here. He said, "We know where our game is. We know where we're going to keep our game, and what we're going to make happen, and we're just going to stick to that and just stay true to that." And that's exactly what he did. So shout out to that. And you guys get a chance to hear more of his interview in the upcoming Week in the Life articles coming out tomorrow. So awesome, awesome, well done, well played. And now, Rick, I got your back. I
Mm-hmm.
got hit. I got to hit you with some stuff now. Okay.
Let's go.
Now, everybody knows what's coming up in the weekend. All right. So
Okay.
this weekend we have. Let me count here: 1, 2, 30, 174, 609. 498,000 basketball games going on this weekend. It's like the busiest weekend of SimWorld hoops in the
Okay.
history of SimWorld hoops. I think the last time was this
For
many
sure.
games in SimWorld hoops. Andrew Jackson was president. So, what do you see going on? What do you see going down? That's probably a bad example for a president to use too. I know because he didn't like basketball at all. He was too busy at the club. He was way too busy at the club. But but what do you see happening this weekend with all the games going down, with all these teams that are two against three? Speaking of which, we got one of those coming up later tonight. Lakeshore versus Bad Boys, 2 against 3. We got a bunch of 2 against 3s, 4 against 2s, one against last place. What do you see happen this weekend? Do you see a big shakeup? Like we're going to come in Monday, sipping our tea, talking about, man, I don't believe what just happened, or do you think it's going to be, yeah, I kind of knew that was going to go down that way? What do you think is going to happen there, Rick?
Man, that's a really good question. And if anyone haven't noticed, I kind of stopped making my predictions a little time ago after I beat Marsh in the bet. I was just getting too many of them right. People was kind of hitting me up and thinking I was knowing inside information. I was just too good, so I stopped making the predictions because I was just too. It was scary. Um, but you're right. This weekend is gonna be crazy. You got a lot of games. Um, I do for old time. Can I make a prediction for old time's sake?
100%.
Just for old time's sake. I do predict
100%.
two ups. I predict two upsets.
Okay.
I predict two
Now
upsets
listen. Now
this weekend.
wait. If you pick mine, I'm gonna let human resources know I'm about to throw you out a window. But go ahead,
Wait, are we counting Friday? Starting Friday? Or we counting Saturday?
baby,
Where we starting from?
baby, baby. Every day the weekend where I come from, B. I don't know what you doing. Don't be
All
slacking.
right. Let's start Friday and Saturday. I'm predicting two upsets. Uh
All right.
I got let me make sure. Let me make sure I'm saying this. All right. I got no. I'm trying to take. See, here's the thing. I'm trying to take my time with my answer because if I'm wrong,
Uh-huh.
everybody gonna let me hit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I know. See, that's why I like
If
sticking it
I'm
out there.
wrong, everybody gonna let me hit. So it's like,
That's
here we go.
all right.
Beyond the arc. I predict they're gonna be similar in Europe. Is that considered an upset? I don't even know. I think so.
I I don't think so, but I give it to you anyway.
That's not considered an upset. Beyond the arc
Not in my book. Not in
beating
my
Europe.
book. No. Not in my
What do
book.
you think? So you're saying they're even, Steven, or you think Beyond the arc is higher than Europe?
I think in the games that I've seen between the two,
Okay.
I think Beyond the Arc is bringing a little bit more to the table than SimWorld Europe.
Okay.
Not to
Fair
slight
enough.
SimWorld Europe, but I think they bring a little bit more to the table.
Fair. Okay. Okay. So I got to go a little bit deeper in my indulgence.
Get on up in that
You
end.
got me sweating. Here we go. Upset alert.
All right.
Ring, 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 ring. Sound the alarm.
It
Southeast Select
sounded.
loses to South America.
Woo. I'm calling HR right now.
Huh.
I'm calling.
Now,
I'm calling
ain't that
HR right
wild?
now.
Is that
I,
wild? Or is that
I,
not wild?
look, that's one of the ones I was going to hit you with too.
That's
But I was
wild.
going to say I kind of feel that happening. So all right, now you got one more. Give me one more. Give me one more for Saturday. Come on,
I don't know.
hit me.
I think that's enough. I think that's enough for me. I think I'm tapped. I think I'm tapped. That took that one there. Took everything out of me. I'm telling you right now. That one took everything out of me. Pull the trigger on that one. That's it. I'm out.
All right, good. Then I feel worth it. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to stick with Cascadia. Almost made me look good last night. I loved the game they played. They were in it all the way to the end. It was just a really good game. But I'm going to have to say this now. I got to give. I got to give. I got to give. I got to give Gulf Coast on Saturday. I got a feeling Gulf
Ooh.
Coast is gonna take down your H Town. I know that just hurt your feelings. I know you just blocked me on
Ooh.
our text chain, but I'm feeling good about
Ooh.
Gulf Coast this weekend. And you know what? We feel good about y'all too. Thank you guys for checking out the post up. Don't worry, we're not gonna shut it down. Just want to say a quick thank you, and just want to let you know, see the game, be the game. If you want to, if you need to, if you know you got to have the game, and you come on in and be a player. If you got the brain, come on in and be a coach. You can sign up at discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. Come on, give us what you got. Don't forget to check out our podcast, Blazing Takes, with my man right here, Rick Blaze, Mr. 420. On his Blazing Takes, we got Marsh Pod with Mr. Marsh or Mr. Media. And of course, my favorite, absolute favorite podcast, Elava, the voice, and the Fat Man, my fun size boo. So check us all out here this week. We always want to hear what you got to think, what you got to say, what you got to feel, and what you got to get out, because that's what's going down. So right now, you ready there, Blazer? Because this is the one.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna get you in here. Get out. How fast would it take you to leave the country and never come back? How fast, if you had to, how fast would it take you to do it?
Less than 24 hours. I mean, shit. That depends on what I'm running from. I could be out here in 2 hours, Jack. What we talking about? I'm not.
Oh, but
I'm like 17 minutes from the airport. I'm out. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing slick,
all
cocaine, or
right,
oil.
all right, I give you that. Well, look, I would go back everywhere. I can be out of here in less than 5 minutes, and then you'll never hear from me again. I got you covered. So, I want to thank everybody for checking. We give a shout out to our producer. What you got going on tonight, fam? My man, our producer said he's got to go back in the car. So I tell you what, appreciate you guys checking us out tonight. Appreciate you guys loving on the post up. We got another game coming up. Tell us what you got going on here for Lakeshore and Bad Boys. Who you with?
I'm gonna go with Lakeshore. I just don't trust Bad Boys. I mean, they
You
make
never
good theme
have.
song, good theme music. I just don't.
You
I just don't
you never
trust.
have.
I just don't.
Look, you never
I can't
have,
put
and
my
you've been
faith.
honest about that all season. You've been honest about that all
Yeah.
season. I want to thank everybody for checking out the post up. Thank you for dealing with us. We can't wait to see you on the next flip side. Enjoy the next game coming up. We got another 3-man deep booth with Rick, Siege, and LO Gasman B. So and if you don't know what the gas is about, you'll find out later. And I'm just gonna say one thing real quick. And the first real talk me and my dad had, and I told him, I got no problem saying, yes, I would marry you, Kelly Clarkson. Check you guys out later.
Here we go. We are live here in the August Athletic Center here for another exciting Sim World TV matchup here between Lakeshore Drive. As Bad Boy Basketball is coming into town here to try to upset the hometown team here. I am your host here, LOB, back at it again with my co-host Siege for the second game here tonight. Siege, how we doing?
Doing well. Had a great time at that last game in New York. Caught the jet. Now we're here, ready for an exciting matchup. Should be an interesting one. I'm most excited, and I think most people in the arena are. We get to watch Lorenzo Phenom play tonight. Anytime you get to watch him play, it's going to be a fun one.
It's definitely going to be a flurry of highlights from Lorenzo Phenom. He is definitely the key for this Bad Boys basketball team. But on Lakeshore Drive, they have Norman Nations, and Norman Nations is someone to definitely be reckoned with here. What do you think about Norman Nations in this one?
I think Norman Nations, I mean, he's a sensational player. He's a top 35 guy in the league, and according to the rankings, I mean, he can get his own bucket whenever he can. He really is he's the heart of this team in terms of what they do. So if they're going to have any shot at winning this game, pulling it out, it's going to have to be a great performance from him.
And I feel like that's definitely key. Norman Nations is 8th in three-point percentage here in Sim World TV, shooting it at around 60% here, which will definitely be the key at the power forward position to be able to shoot the ball here. As Bad Boy Basketball gets off to the early three-point lead after their three-pointer they just made. Now, I haven't gotten the chance to call that many games, but I do remember calling a Lakeshore game and a Bad Boys basketball game, and it seems like Lakeshore is one of those teams that's kind of, putting the pieces together, still trying to figure out who they are as a team. Quite a young team at that, but trying to figure out who they are, putting the pieces together. So how do you feel that this Lakeshore Drive team is really coming together in this last stretch?
I mean, it's all about, we talk about it a lot, putting together an identity, putting together a team, putting together a program. And that's something that everyone's trying to do except for some of the top teams that already have it figured out. The Rocky Mountain Monsters, Lone Star Basketball. But a lot of teams, they have the tools, they have the pieces. It's just, how do we bring it together? And so they're doing what everyone else is. They're doing all right. I think they need a little something. And it's something that we talked about from not this last game, but a couple days ago, last night, I believe, actually. Those little things you can take from each game and build on, I think that's something they got to pay a lot of attention to tonight.
And I feel like putting the pieces together is definitely what this Lakeshore team needs. As Curry Hot Claw, that's definitely a tongue twister right there. Hold Claw with the bucket there. Now, as far as this Bad Boys basketball team, as far as their last 5 games, they're 2-3, and they're not looking entirely too hot. What do they need to do in this game specifically to turn things around?
Well, I mean, and I hate to be a broken record, but it's those little things. It's the adjustments. Basketball, the game of adjustments. You don't make adjustments in a tight game, you're gonna lose. You gotta see what you're not doing well, see what you are doing well. That looks like something they're gonna do well if they can hit those shots, find the open man. I mean, I think what they need to do is not do too much. They don't need to get flashy. They don't need to have some super complex game plan. They need to do the little things well, and they need to make adjustments as they see them.
Lorenzo Phenom with another bucket. Now, you highlighted Lorenzo Phenom earlier on in this game as him being one of the key parts to this Bad Boys basketball team. How has he been such a successful piece to this entire Bad Boys basketball organization? How has he been so successful?
I mean, we talk about motors. We talk about guys who make a whole team go, and not just he makes a team go. I mean, he goes. He's got a motor on him. He's a great facilitator for a big man. I believe he averages about 3.5 assists per game, which in terms of Sim World is a really good number in general. But for a big man, that's outstanding in any league, to be honest. 6.6 on the boards. That's very respectful boards, and then about 15 a game when it comes to scoring. He can do just about everything. He's an all-around big. And like I said, I'll go back to he's a motor. He's a motor for himself. He's got a high motor, high energy, and he's a motor for this team. He makes them go.
Another basket there for Bad Boys basketball, and I know that we have been keying on the bigs for each team in Norman Nations and Lorenzo Phenom. But another person to watch out for on this Bad Boys basketball team is Mr. Pagnotti Jr. I got to call one of his games last time, and he absolutely lit it up from the three-point line. How do you feel about Mr. Pagnotti as being a huge factor in tonight's game?
Well, I mean, Pagnotti is one of those guys. We talked about it a lot last game. How do you surround your stars with guys who are going to fit the way they play? And Pagnotti is one of those guys who really fits well next to Lorenzo Phenom. So it's almost like a hand-in-hand thing. You see Lorenzo start to go, you're gonna see Pagnotti get going. Lorenzo's gonna open up those passing lanes. He's gonna draw a lot of defense into him, and Pagnotti's gonna be able to get a shot off. He's gonna be able to catch, pump fake, drive, all those things. Well, I think Pagnotti's a beautiful complementary piece to Lorenzo Phenom.
And that's drive and finish there by Norman Nations, but on the other end, Lorenzo Phenom just getting physical and absolutely having a wide open layup. As Lorenzo Phenom now, he is a pretty tall dude at 6'10". And what a block for Bad Boys basketball. It's a huge block there. Ooh! What a steal. Cutting right in front of him to stop the alley-oop there. And now Lakeshore Drive coming down on the other end. Only down 2 here early on here. Pass on the inside, and what a finish.
And that's another thing.
Basketball.
Norman Nation does so well. He finds his open teammates. He knows how to pass the ball when he needs to. He can obviously score the rock, but he's great at finding the open teammate. When they make those good cuts and get themselves open, he will find you and he will score you.
Number 6, Lath Mooney with a slam out of Indiana. That's a grown man's finish right there. And now Lakeshore Drive here. Tie game, looking to stretch this lead or get a lead here off this shot. No good. But it's rebounded. He reloads for a three-pointer and knocks it down to give them a 3-point lead. Now Bad Boy basketball calls a timeout here. We're going to take a quick short break, but we'll be back with you guys in just one moment.
Remember those pesky squirrels?
Uh-huh.
Well, I trained them.
Fun! Squirrels cutting coupons.
Yep. It's going to save us a ton of money and time.
I love your brain, Bob.
Me too.
Enough! Your tyranny ends now, you filthy humans! Not up, my brothers!
You seem so cool.
Yeah!
Ow!
The day of the squirrel is upon us!
No.
YOLO!
Oh, it's biting my hand! Oh, God, it's mating with my mouth. Mommy!
Just get it off!
And this right here, definitely a huge matchup. I feel like this game right here could definitely go down to the wire for each team.
And I mean, we love a game that goes down to the wire. Just want to see some competitive basketball always. And in SimWorld Hoops, you can get that on any given night. We talk about both these teams maybe trying to find a little traction in the season, a little bit of, get up and go. And I think every game can be a statement game. When it comes to a tight game with another team trying to find their identity, you don't want to say you got to win it, but I mean, you have to win it if you want to find that traction. So for both of these games, both of these teams, it's really going to come down tonight to who wants to get that win more, because you're going to play some tough teams coming down the road. You're going to have some tough situations. And so a game like this where you're evenly matched with a team maybe is going to be, that's where you're going to figure out what you want to do with your team.
And I feel like that's huge for both teams in order to have a huge chance of winning this game. One team trending positive and one team trending negative. As Samuel Boggs goes off for the layup, and it's going to be no good. Lakeshore Drive here with a 3-point lead, looking to extend it on this possession here. Double team on the inside. He muscles through it, but he doesn't get it to fall here. And Bad Boys back on the other end. It just seemed like there was a lot of pressure on the inside on that shot there, and it might have bothered him. As Bad Boys gets another bucket there on the inside. Now, Bad Boys has been attacking the paint a lot here early on in this game. Do you think that could be their game plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you can set the tempo and the kind of intention of the game to a physical nature, and you can kind of beat up the other team, what you're going to do with that in that physical nature, you're going to throw them off their game. Whether you get some good hits, you kind of liken it to in a fight. getting those body blows in. Every time they go to the rim, every time they kind of play tough, be physical, it's going to take a little bit out of those opposing players, and that's really what they're trying to do here, it seems like.
Playing at their tempo is definitely key in these sort of games here. Angelo Roman just knocked down the 3 on the other end. And here for Bad Boys basketball, Camden Gilroy with a bucket. Camden Gilroy, looking out there, he's only 6'9", but he's 235 pounds out of Oregon, Kansas, and has been quite the contributor for this Bad Boys basketball team. Daniel Boggs looking at the top of the key here to try to set something up here off the screen. About a minute left here in this first quarter. Bad Boys looking to get it inside. Stumbles with the handoff. Now trying to reset in the hands of Boggs. Shot is up and no good. Now on the break here is Bad Boy basketball trying to run it. Bad Boys playing at their pace. It seems like they're playing at a nice pace here. Another 3 is taken up and it is no good. Back in the hands of Bad Boys basketball on the other end. Boggs kicks it inside. And it's going to be a foul here.
And Boggs is a great facilitator, averaging around 6 assists a game. I mean, he can pass the rock. He's a great, it's almost like the arena's named after him or something. He's real comfortable here at home.
You would definitely think so, the way that he plays, the way that he dishes and dimes. Number 2 in Sim World as far as assists. And that's key here. Interesting story about this this stadium here. It was built by his family quite some time ago, and it's got to be such an honor to be able to play in a gym that your family was able to create, and you get to have the honor of playing in it. That's got to be big for him every single time he steps out on the floor.
Absolutely. It's just that confidence. It's that being comfortable. It's almost like he's literally playing on his home floor. We talked about in the last game how big chemistry is. Comfort's another big thing, and you never want to be comfortable in terms of getting better, but you do want to be comfortable on a basketball court. And, if you own this gym, I mean, you're going to be pretty comfortable.
They say home court advantage is important, and that's exactly what he has whenever he steps on the floor. Ooh. As Lakeshore Drive comes up with another contested shot there by Zay Gore out of Dallas, Texas. 4 seconds left in the hands of Boggs. He pulls it at the top of the key, and it's going to be no good, and that's going to wrap up the first quarter here of play. Lakeshore Drive only up by 3, 19-16 here. That's going to do it for the first quarter. And here we are with the start of the second quarter. Lakeshore Drive up by 3 here against Bad Boys. A tightly contested game. And this could go down to the wire for sure. I was, as the pop-up for the post-up just popped up on screen, it made me think about the LO Gas B name that was given to me earlier on in the post-up. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of liked it. I might have to... he said if you don't know where the gas is from, then you'll find out sooner or later. But might have to rock with that one for a little bit, Siege.
I love that for you, Ella. I'll tell you what, knowing you this short time, I've loved working with you already, and nobody can crop dust an arena like you. And so I'm riding with that one.
I might have to talk to him about it. We might have to. I've been talking about trademarking quotes all in the first game, and we might have to trademark that one right there because that's a good one. I like that one.
I mean, that's a career maker. That's a career maker. You take that through your whole career, you're a superstar.
Yeah, and I'm being fairly new to the sim world. I feel like you talk about identities, and that LO gassed up B is it wouldn't be a bad identity to go by. So Bog is here.
I love
Behind the back pass and the finish. How did he get that pass off?
I don't know, Elo. He might be a little too comfortable. But I mean, it worked.
The magician pass goes through and a finish there for Bad Boys to cut it to 1. I don't know what type of training he's been doing. He's been training with Jason Williams, and I don't know, but that was an amazing pass.
I actually heard Jason Williams is a close friend of the Boggs family, so that could be.
That definitely would make sense here. Boggs drives, contact. It's going to affect that shot. It's going to be no good here. Lakeshore Drive here on the other end, looking to do something with it. They get it down inside with the spin, and he's not going to get it to fall here.
All right, Elo, here's my thing. I'm going to go on this rant probably at least once a game once you get to know me. When you're a big man and you get it in the post, I don't want to see you fade away. You're not Anthony Davis, and to be honest, I don't like when he does it. You're huge. Use that physicality, shoulder into your defender, go towards the basket. 1, you're closer to the rim. You're going to have a better chance at hitting that shot. You're not as talented as you think you are. We got a lot of talented dudes, but that's a tough shot. And 2, you might draw the foul. Why are you fading away as a 6'10" big man in the post? It befuddles me. I don't know why they do it, but it's whatever.
I feel like it's just with the way that the game is being played now and how positions are being changed so much on even how we play the point guard, shooting guard position. I feel like nowadays a lot of these younger players just play the game differently, like post fades, or I don't know what it is. It's just the way that the game has changed. The play has changed, when in some cases I feel like it shouldn't. Oh my, goodness, what a block off the glass.
I'm absolutely there with you. And the post fade, there's a reason that the guys who do the post fade so well are as legendary as they are. You think about post fade, who's the first guy that comes to my mind? Dirk, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. What do those guys all have in common? They're all-time greats. I mean, like, it's not a consistent shot for most people. And so at this level, what you want to do is get the most consistent shot you can, go into your defender, try to draw a foul, get closer to the rim. I just don't understand. Unless you're a guy like that, you can consistently hit that shot, work on the fundamentals. You'll get there. Your fadeaway post shot will come along eventually, but right now it's not there for a majority of bigs in this league.
Bog is in the corner for 3. I'm gonna be honest here. You listed a lot of great players, but I definitely thought I should have heard Nakeem, and I think production would have liked to hear Hakeem too. I would
Sure. Add Hakeem in there. Now, will I say the first person who comes to my mind when I think of a post fade over Michael, over Kobe, over Hakeem is gonna be Dirk all the time. I mean, he was disgusting with it. I mean, that was. I don't want to go on a Dirk rant. I could talk about him for hours. One of the greatest to ever play the game. You could argue he's the best power forward of all time, and I might do it one day. But I don't know. That might be a hot take. But for me, Dirk was disgusting.
Can we get him on a podcast very soon? I would love to hear that discussion. Definitely, I would love to hear that one.
I mean,
I'd have to.
My official take when I first think about it, best power forward of all time, it's Tim Duncan. I mean, that's the pick. But also then just to play devil's advocate, I don't believe in this, but Tim Duncan had a great system around him. He made that system go. That's not actually my belief. Dirk, on the other hand, was the system. Dirk was the system.
And it's something I can't agree with you on. As Lakeshore Drive with another bucket. Lath Money slamming it down, and on the other end, the Phenom finishing with authority. And look at him getting animated out there, flexing on him. He doesn't, when I look at a guy like Lorenzo Phenom, he doesn't seem like one who is quite vocal, or if that's the word for it. But with that one, he was very vocal about that dunk for sure.
I mean, you get a slam like that, you might get a little out of character right there. You might get a little possession going on there. Something takes over you.
Double team here on Phenom. We're going to kick it out to Pagnotti. He's looking to cook with 2 seconds left here. Pulls up for the shot, and he knocks it down. Pagnotti Jr. And as far as Bad Boys basketball goes, they're up 4 now. They've turned this thing around here with 2.5 left in the second quarter. Try to go for the block. He almost blocked it, but it's still no good. Bad Boys basketball now on the break here, trying to push it up the floor in the hands of Pagnotti once again. You know, a lot of people I've heard have I mentioned this in the last broadcast, but a lot of people who are fans or supporters of Pagnotti have been known to be called the Pagnotti Posse, as Bad Boys knocks down another 3 to extend this lead to 7. And a block for Bad Boys basketball. That's Malcolm Chamberlain with the slam. Excuse me, block.
He's a big time player, I'll tell you what, and he's got a little style going, a little uniqueness going to his look. And I love that. You want to differentiate yourself on the court with your play and sometimes your appearance too. Look good, play good, feel good. That's what it's all about.
Ooh! Another shot there drained for Lakeshore Drive. That's Drake Harvell with the bucket. Last game I called with Drake Harvell, he had himself a pretty nice game, and I wonder if he'll be able to translate that in this one. Pagnotti spins and tries to get the bucket to go, but it's going to be no good here. Siege, I feel like with these two teams, it feels, in a sense, balanced. You know, I feel like it's been blow for blow, bucket for bucket on both sides. Bad Boys starting to pull away now, but what do you think about that? It feels quite balanced so far in the early going.
I think we talked about that. It's two teams kind of almost on even playing field here, and they both want to win. They want it bad, so it's going to come down to who wants it more.
You got a team that's trending a little bit more positive versus a team that's not trending so positive. They desperately need a win here. The double teams by Phenom leaves Pagnotti wide open. I don't understand why the double team on Phenom, when he's able to pass so well out of the post, which is why so many other players on that team get opportunities to score because of his passing ability.
Well, and that's one of the things that makes him such a great player is like you said, you don't understand like the double team. It's hard to think about double teaming him when he can facilitate the way he does, but also it's hard to think about not double teaming because you leave him one-on-one and he can make you pay for that also.
A lot of scouts have compared a guy like Lorenzo Phenom to Paulo Banchero in some cases. The way that he's able to just, score at will, but also get other teammates involved. And I feel like that's one reason why Bad Boys basketball is so successful, because of his ability to get other players involved. When you can get all guys involved on the court, that's big.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about it a lot. You want to get everyone involved. You want to get that team flow going. And that really fits with what players do you have around your star players, because if you got players who can get going next to them, your team becomes a little bit more dynamic. And that's a big thing at this level of basketball. How dynamic can you be? Because having more options to go to offensively is always a good thing.
With 43 seconds left here, I do want to say that this has been such a tightly contested game, and these players are working hard and these coaches are working hard. But if you, the people that are watching live right now, want to be a part of this amazing league, then you have the opportunity to do so. Just make sure you guys join our Discord at discord.gg/SimWorldTV. You can join as a coach. There are plenty of positions open to be a coach, or even as a player if you want to. But what a step back there. Amazing step back there by Drake Harvell. But if you do want to be a part of SimWorld, make sure you guys go check out our Discord. Like I said, discord.gg/SimWorldTV. See the game, be the game. 6 seconds left here in the hands of Phenom. He's going to put it up here, and it's going to be no good, and that's how we go into the halftime with a 35-31 lead. Bad Boys basketball has completely dominated this game. Siege, what's your thoughts?
Bad Boys basketball, while it feels like from the eye test they're dominating the game, Lakeshore is staying right in there in striking distance. We talk about striking distance a lot because we talk about the parity of this league a lot. Anyone can win on any given night, so if you can keep yourself in striking distance, as Lakeshore Drive has done, you're going to have a chance to win the game, make a little run. So both teams in an interesting position. Bad Boys got to keep doing what they're doing. Lakeshore is going to have to make a strike at some point.
And I feel like there's got to be certain players for Lakeshore that's got to get it going sooner than later. People like Drake Harvell. And it's just, I feel like it's got to be more of a concerted team effort in order for Lakeshore to start picking it up here. in the second half if they're ever going to have an opportunity to try to get back into this game. But halftime concluding, we're going to go to a quick break here, but we will be back with you guys in just 1 minute. And we are back here with the start of the third quarter. Bad Boys basketball up 35-31 here against Lakeshore Drive. But you mentioned it earlier. They are definitely within striking distance to try to make a comeback in this sort of game, Siege. What exactly does Lakeshore need to do at this stage in the game?
Well, you know, they're not shooting a great percentage from the field. They're shooting 39%. They are, however, on a limited sample size, shooting 3 from 5 from 3. That's not the kind of 3 you necessarily want to get. But I would maybe experiment with maybe getting some guys coming off screens, maybe getting some open 3s, see if maybe those fall a little better for you. But at the end of the day, what they really need to do is take smart shots and stay within striking distance going into the fourth. If they can be within 6-ish points going into the final 4 minutes, they're going to have a chance. Basketball is a game of runs. We always talk about it. And, you know, you can make a run at any time. You just got to stay within distance.
There was a lot of contact there on that last layup, but there was no call there as the score still stays the same here in this third quarter. Now, if there's one person I think that definitely needs to start getting it started, Lorenzo Phenom with the finish. Oh, my goodness. I feel like he is the one that's got to continue to keep it going for this Bad Boys basketball team. But as far as Lakeshore, we've seen a lot from Norman Nation so far in this game. He's got 11. But who else on that team needs to get it going? Because he can't do it by himself.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you mentioned Pagnotti earlier. The helpful if he got it going. Samuel Boggs needs to keep the passing going. A guy I would love to see get going, Nathaniel Garcia. He can be a playmaker at times, he can be a scorer, and so that's a guy I would love to see get going a little bit. Maybe, you know, contribute to the lead a little bit. Maybe see if they can extend it.
Lakeshore now has cut it down to 4 with that layup there. If you're just tuning in, the score is 37-33 with 6 minutes left here in this third quarter. And Pagnotti with the footwork and the finish. Pagnotti's got some very nice footwork when it comes down there to the low post, and you can see it. Excuse me, not Pagnotti, Mr. Phenom. Excuse me, Mr. Phenom.
Even better footwork. He's so talented, and he's got great basketball IQ. He knows that he's got footwork. And I went on my rant earlier. I don't like the post fade, but if it goes, it goes.
I mean, that's someone like Phenom. He's probably been working on it, you know. it comes natural to him, the way that he works on it and the way that he pulled that with confidence.
Absolutely. Like I said, if it works for you, it works for you. But if it doesn't work for you, I don't like to see it being forced.
Lakeshore Drive here. Oh, what a block here. That's his 4th block in this game for Malcolm Chamberlain. That is insane. He has 4 blocks in this game. Pagnotti here off the spin fade, no good. Phenom, excuse me.
And Ella, I got an interesting question for you. I know that, we get a nice and one there. But I know it might be a little tougher for you. I know you're a little newer to the SimWorld Hoops League community. But right now, if you had to give me your top 3 favorites, not just, you can factor in favorites in terms of best team. You can factor in favorites of what teams you've enjoyed watching the most so far. You got to give me your top 3 teams right now. Who are they?
Well, I definitely over the games that I've called, I definitely enjoy watching this Bad Boys basketball team play. They kind of remind me of the Bad Boy Pistons a little bit in a sense, the way that they just they're just physical and they kind of just go in and essentially get what they want on the court. They have a swagger and confidence about them. I definitely like watching that in teams, the swagger and confidence. Not only that, the game that we just played with, the game that we just saw with Xavier Pope and the Hyman brothers, that's an exciting team to definitely watch. And not only that, Showtime basketball. I've gotten a little bit into Showtime basketball, and I noticed that they made a lot of new pickups as of recently with everything that's happened. So I'm excited to see what Showtime basketball does in this season. So I would say those are probably my 3 for now. Obviously it can change because there are a lot of great teams in SimWorld, so we'll see how it goes.
Excited to see how your list updates. If it updates, so they're 3 great teams, so I'm loving your list.
And the foul here is called, and that's going to, I believe, coach is tapping on the ref trying to figure out what's going on with the call there, but that's going to send Lakeshore to the line here. It'll be number 25, D'Angelo Jordan, with the free throws. D'Angelo Jordan, 6'9", 199 pounds, out of Chicago, Illinois, is putting up 12 points a game. How does he fit into this Lakeshore Drive offense? You've got people like Norman Nations and Drake Harvell, but how does he sort of fit and contribute into this offense the way he does?
Well, you just mentioned the size he holds. He's a big guy, but he doesn't always play like a big man. He's got some quickness to him. He's got some aggression to him. What I really like about him is I look at him and I think that's a guy that, of course, is already a talented guy, but he's a guy that I look at as a scouting guy. I look at as if I'm a coach and I say I'm looking forward to developing this guy, to kind of developing his skills, developing his tools, developing what he can use in a game, because you can't really teach those physical assets that he has, the athleticism that he has, things like that. And I think one day he could be a really, really, really good player. He already is a great player, but he could be something really special if the right development team gets a hold of him.
And I feel like that's definitely big. Another block for Bad Boys basketball. It's become a block party at this point. And in the corner, Bad Boys with 3 knocks it down to take the lead to 8 points. Defense turning into offense, and Lakeshore Drive is now calling a timeout. What a flurry of plays there in just a couple of seconds. That is amazing. We're going to take a short intermission, short break here, but we will be back with you guys in just a moment. Now, Siege, I want to talk about a stat line real quick of Lorenzo Phenom. He's got 14 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, but he's responsible for 24 of their team's points right now. How do you do that at the big man position?
Oh my God!
Goodness, hold that thought. Another block here by Bad Boys Basketball. That's his second, coming in a span of about a minute.
Is that allowed? Is that allowed?
I honestly don't think it should be. And Camden Gilroy, you know, huge guy, 6'9", 235, coming up with 2 blocks. I don't think it should be, honestly.
We should look into that one. Get the league to look into that.
Yeah, we need to get that one checked out.
To head back to your question you had posed about Lorenzo Phenom and that points responsible for his stat. About half his team's points up until that last shot. We've been talking about it all night. One thing that he does really well from the big man position is facilitate. He's shown he does it well. I love that Paolo comp. I almost even want to say take it a little step further. I think he's got a little more quickness to him than this guy, but the way he facilitates sometimes gives me a Devontae Sabonis vibe. A big man who can make good passes, things like that. So, he's really talented. And it comes down to what you said earlier, how are you going to double team him when he's such a great facilitator? But sometimes that's what makes him such a great facilitator. As we see right here as he finds
another pass.
An open teammate for a 3 on the kick out. You have to double team. If you don't, he's going to score on you. So that almost makes him the facilitator he is, and his talent and his IQ. So, he's just a phenomenal player.
The way that he plays, like he has eyes in the back of the head and he can see everything on the floor, is absolutely astounding to me. As Camden Gilroy, after having 2 blocks, gets some points on the board with that one. Huge bucket for Bad Boys to extend the lead to 14 here in the third quarter with only around 50 seconds left here. Lakeshore Drive has started to fall off a little bit. They really need to regroup if they want to have a chance to come back in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep mentioning striking distance. Stay within striking distance. They're going to need to make a little run before the run to try and tie the game up. If they can make a little run at the beginning, right here at the end, they can get a shot or 2 to go and then start the fourth quarter with a little run and get themselves single digits, 8-6 points, something. Then they can look to make that strike to get themselves tied back up.
And the foul is called there by Angelo Roman for Lakeshore Drive, which is going to send Mr. Bogus here to the line. Mr. Bogus has been having sort of a quiet night, but besides that astounding behind the back pass that he had earlier, a little bit of a quiet night here for Mr. Bogus in his home gym here, but still contributing, which is very much key to the success of this team. Definitely one of those people that he may not wow you with his points on the floor, but he will make sure that everybody gets involved, and I feel like that's one reason why he's had such success here in Sinwell, because of the fact that he's able to get everyone else around him involved.
That's the type of player you want at any position, honestly. If you can score and get the guys around you going, that's especially at the big man position, because you're going to have guys who can facilitate at the guard position, on almost everything with you, 1 or 2 of them. But to have a big man who can facilitate the way he does is really an asset that not a lot of teams have.
Running the clock down here. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 2 seconds here. With the screen, he's got a mismatch on him. He pulls up for 3. No good. And that's going to do it for the end of the third quarter here. Bad Boys Basketball has taken over this third quarter and essentially has taken over this game up to this point. It's been exciting to watch so far. We'll be back in just one moment. And with the start of the fourth quarter here, Siege, I gotta know. I don't know if they've started putting some flies in the gym somewhere because Bad Boys Basketball has been swatting at everything this entire night as far as it comes to in the paint. Like the blocks have been absolutely insane.
I mean, they've been out of control, like you said, and I think that's really what's contributing to this lead tonight. It's the being in the right place. It's the hustle. It's the wanting it. It's the putting yourself in the position to make that play, to make that block. Is something that gets overlooked a lot. You know, you see guys who are big, athletic, and you're like, okay, like they're huge. Of course, they're going to get blocks, but you know, a much more skillful thing than a lot of people realize. You know, to be able to go up, get that block, be in the right place to not foul. And it's the timing of it too, and that I think is what's differentiating this game right now. You know, we talk about these teams that are really tightly matched, but what they're doing here is they're blocking shots, they're being in the right place defensively, and not just in the paint for blocks, but all over the floor.
Dre Carvel pulls up for the three and knocks it down for Lakeshore Drive. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people may not know: Bad Boys Basketball is ranked 13th when it comes to blocks as a team. But these past two games that I've been able to watch and I've called, it's been an absolute block party for Bad Boys Basketball. So even though it doesn't show up on the stat sheet or on paper, defensive presence that they have in the paint is quite astounding.
I mean, it's really impressive, and we talk about what little things teams can notice, you know, see what are we doing well and build on that. That's something they do really well, and that's something they can build on. We know that our defense this is what we do, so maybe you say that, you take that and you go, all right, so what are we going to do? We're going to run a fast-paced offense. We're going to take these blocks. We're going to get the rebound. We're going to run fast. We're going to try to get ahead of the defense before they can set up, and maybe that's how we can put more points on the board offensively. So it's just taking those little things that you do well, little things or big things, and building on those every game. So, you know, if that's something they're doing well, let's see them keep doing it.
At the line here for Lakeshore Drive, it's Angelo Roman who will be knocking down his first free throw, trying to focus up here on the second. Angelo Roman, he's had a typically quiet night here. I feel like he definitely needs to start getting it going if Lakeshore Drive wants to have a chance to come back in this game. But the way that Bad Boys Basketball has been playing, it's hard to even say that without, you know, as Samuel Bogus gets another layup to go here for Bad Boys Basketball. The way that they've been playing tonight has been excellent on the offensive end, on the defensive end. It's been great to watch them play.
They came out here with some urgency, honestly. They said, we want this win. We're going to come out and play as hard as we can to get this win, and it showed on both sides of the court, like you said.
No good there for Lakeshore Drive. And for a Bad Boys Basketball team that's coming into this game on a 2-game losing streak, they're definitely trying to make a statement in this one. They say, hey, we're still here, okay? We're still Bad Boys Basketball, and we're still going to do what we need to do to get W's, and that's exactly how they're playing tonight. Oh my goodness, what a slam there. Lakeshore Drive, number 25, D'Angelo Jordan. We talked about him earlier, and he's starting to come alive here a little bit. Bogus gets to the basket, another layup for Samuel Bogus, easing his way to the paint and getting the teardrop to fall. He's starting to feel a little bit comfortable here in his own gym, I guess you could say. Harvell step back too. No good. If you had to rank Bad Boys Basketball play right now as a whole, as a team within these couple of games, what would you rank them at? Where would you put them at?
Like in the league as a whole, or in the teams we've seen tonight?
Yeah, as far as the league as a whole, where would you rank Bad Boys Basketball? Where would you put them at?
It's the way they're playing tonight. They'd get a little bump for me, but if I take the whole body of work, I want to say they're somewhere in middleman land. You know, they're not one of the top teams in the league. I don't think that of them. Do I think they could be if they take this and build on it, play like this every night? I think they could have a chance to be one of those prominent teams. But again, I put them in middleman land because I don't think they're a bottom team. They have a lot of tools and they play hard a lot of games. So yeah, somewhere around the middle. I know that's kind of a vague answer, but it's hard to rank a team who hasn't quite got that consistency going right now.
Mr. Pagnotti, and I don't mean to cut you off in the middle of your statement, but Mr. Pagnotti with a beautiful finish there at the rim. It just seems like Bad Boys Basketball has been able to get to the rim at will. 3 straight wide open layups here that they've been able to finish here for Bad Boys. And what does Lakeshore need to do to fix that?
I mean, they got to stay in front of their man, but it's exactly what we're talking about right there. We saw it. They took a missed shot. They ran up the court less than 4 seconds. They got a shot up, and it goes in. I mean, that seems to be the identity they found themselves in tonight with the blocks, with the boards. They take it, they run, and they get some quick shots, and it's been working for them so far.
And they've been also finishing through contact.
Exactly. And so if you're Lakeshore, what you got to do to stop that, and whether it's too little or too late, is a different conversation. But
what a pass!
That was a great slam. But what you got to do
finish
to beat that in general is you got to take higher percentage shots. You got to take good shots. You got to try and go for the offensive glass. But you also can send 1 or 2 guys to the offensive glass. But you got to get back on feet. You have to. When they're running like this, you have to get back on feet.
And I think the biggest thing that I'm starting to notice is that offensively on the offensive end, it seems like the coaches wanted Mr. Hart. Oh my goodness, what a move by Bogus, and what a finish. It seems as if as they come down the court, as we call a timeout here by Lakeshore, it just seems as if they're putting Drake Harvell on some sort of ISO every single time he comes down, which has not been working out so well for Lakeshore Drive.
No, it has not. And we talked about some guys who need to get it going, and they just haven't really been able to get it going tonight. And a lot of that can be attributed to the Bad Boys defense. They've played really good defense, and that was just part of their plan, I guess.
Well, they have managed to stretch this lead out to 21 points here, and that's been huge, a large part to their grit on defense, being able to get all of those blocks, and the fact that you're just taking high percentage shots and making them. That's just what this Bad Boys basketball team has done.
Yeah, it's that physicality that can be another part of their identity. You want to run fast, you want to be physical, you're going to throw the other team off their game, not just with pace, but with physicality. And I think Bad Boys are getting something together here.
They're starting to bring something together here. Now, with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left here in this fourth quarter, I would like to tell you all, the people watching, if you do want to be a part of SimWorld's TV, you have the opportunity to do so. We are looking for players and coaches or anyone who wants to be a part of our team. Make sure to hit up our Discord at discord.gg/SimWorldTV. See the game, be the game. We're looking for players, coaches. We're looking for it all, man. If you want to be up here in the booth with me and Siege, we're looking for it all, man. So make sure you guys hit up our Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldTV. It's right there. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's right there for you guys, man. The Bad Boys basketball, once again, has been absolutely dominating this game. And it's been great to see them play, not just, individual performances, but as a whole unit, the way that they've been playing. It's been great to watch. Bach is here in the corner with it. He's looking to set something up here with 2 minutes left. And you could just tell that the Lakeshore Drive fans in the stand are not liking the way that they're playing as of right now. And I'm not sure what they can do to fix that. Phenom muscling his way to the bucket. Once again, Phenom just having an amazing night here tonight. And quite frankly, it hasn't been just him. It's been a contribution from everybody. But if you know what I'm saying, if you did have to give it to one person who's been leading the charge here, it would definitely have to be Phenom. Siege, what do you think?
I can't disagree with you there. I mean, Lorenzo Phenom is the guy almost every night out for this team, and he's done it again tonight. He's facilitating, rebounding, scoring. He can do it all, and he did it all again tonight.
Not only that, I mean, if we had to give it to one, it would be him. But if I could give it a close second, I would definitely have to hand it off to Malcolm Chamberlain. 4 blocks. Excuse me. He just wanted to, he just wanted to add another one to the list. 5 blocks here for Malcolm Chamberlain. And he's just absolutely just been a monster on the defensive end inside that paint here. And one of the main reasons why they have this lead.
Absolutely. Chamberlain's a huge part of this team, and if they're going to keep this identity going, he is one of those physical guys. He's one of those big guys, physical guys, strong guys. He can be a center of that identity.
Definitely big here. Well, with about a minute left here, it looks like this will all but do it for tonight. Bad Boys basketball coming in here at home doing exactly what they need to do to get this definitely needed victory. Phenom getting to the basket again, but it's going to be no good. But Bad Boys basketball has dominated this entire game. Lakeshore Drive gets another bucket there to try to cut the lead, but it's too little, too late. Fans are starting to exit the gym. They're starting to clean this place up now. And Malcolm Chamberlain with the exclamation point dunk to finish it off.
Yeah, that'll just about do it. I think we can go ahead and turn the lights off. I'll let Gotham 5 here.
we go. What he saw the cut the lights off defense, but CTOD is about that time. Well, I just would like to say for everybody here in the booth, it's been a wonderful time working with you tonight, Siege, on these two games, even production. It's been great working with you guys today. I've had an absolutely amazing time here. We've had some great games tonight, Siege. So definitely love working with you, man.
Absolutely, it's been a great slate, and no one I'd rather cover it with than you, LO. It's been wonderful. Looking forward to the next one, and hopefully we'll get another one soon.
Well, with the clock finally winding down here, Bad Boys basketball is going to take the victory over Lakeshore Drive in an 82-59 victory. It's been great calling this one with my co-host C's. I am LOB here with SimWorld TV. We hope you guys did enjoy tonight's broadcast. We will see you guys on the next one. Good night.